Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We will start question number 6. It is of same pattern as of similar sort of question. Just for the sake of practice, we are performing a different problem in which one factor is quadratic, which is not reducible to linear factors. So usually we will break up the fraction with alphabet a over x plus 2, which is a linear one. And in case of quadratic, we would write over it bx plus c form. Then we will simply take the LCM, and the steps will be done like this one. So in this step, we have simply operated the LCM. The terms on left hand side would remain as it is. And once we will operate the LCM, in the same step, we will cancel out these two parts, and the equation will become a time x square plus 4 bx plus c into x plus 2. We will label it as equation number 1, and we will have only one linear factor. So we will substitute x plus 2 equals to 0. From here, we will derive the value of x, that is x is equals to minus 2, and we will put it into or substitute into equation number 1. So once you will write x minus 2 everywhere in this equation, so we will be getting an equation of the form substitute all parts the value of x as minus 2. We will be getting one value 0, that this portion, because minus 2 plus 2 will become 0, so it will make entire term as 0. We will have to take the square carefully. Minus 2 square will be 4, and on left hand side again it will be 4. So we will have 8a equals to 4, and from here we will derive the value of a. That will be 4 by 8 means 1 by 2. So this is how we will obtain the value of one alphabet, that is a. Now because we don't have any other linear factor, so what we will do, that we will expand equation number 1. We will multiply equation 1 so the expression will become ax square 4a bx square 2bx cx plus 2c. Take out x square common. So we would have a plus b. Next we will take up x common. So we will have 2b plus c. And then the constants means the terms which do not contain any variable x. So we will collect the terms in this pattern, like 2c is constant, 4a is constant, while on the left hand side we have only x square. We don't have any x, so you can mark it at 0x plus 0, so that once we will compare the coefficients from both sides, comparing coefficients of x square, x and constants on both sides. So you will compare, and you can see that the coefficient of x square is a plus b. So we would write a plus b is equals to 1. We can name it as equation number 2. And the coefficient of x on right hand side is 2b plus c, but on left hand side it will be 0 because the x was missing on left hand side. So we have marked it at 0x so that we can compare the coefficient of right hand side with that. Similarly, 4a plus 2c, it will be equated to 0 because there is no constant on left hand side. So we have ourselves marked it as equals to 0. So the comparison of the coefficients will generate these type of terms, right? So I have already mentioned it. Now the value of a is already there, so we can derive the value of b from equation number 2. How? That b is equals to 1 minus a is half. So by simplification, you will be getting the value a is equals to b is equals to half from equation number 2. So b is actually equals to half. It is the value of b. So you can box it like this one. So value of C now, we have obtained A and B. Now we can use either third equation or fourth equation. This is our own choice. So whatever the equation is simplified, like third one is looking more simplified. So C is equals to minus 2B and the B is equals to 1 by 2. So the answer will become minus 1. So this is how we will be getting answer C is equals to minus 1. So we have obtained the values of A, B and C now. So what we will do, we will go back to the original question, first line of the statement, and we will substitute the values in this part. So substituting the value in the original question, what it is. Okay, so value of A will be substituted right here, 1 by 2, x plus 2, and the value of B is again calculated, half. So we will substitute 1 by 2x and C is equals to minus 1. So we have substituted the value of A, B, C, but we have to be very careful that writing the answer, that if the values are in the form of fractions, then the denominator of the fraction will be shifted in the lower part of the fraction like this one. And for this part, we will have to take up an LCM, means x minus 2 will be there, and the denominator is x square plus 4, and we will substitute the value right here. And finally, the denominator of the second term will also be adjusted, and 2 will be shifted in the denominator like this one. And it is the final answer, while term on the original statement of the question will be as it is. This is how we have to complete the question. X plus 2, x square plus 4, and it is the answer. For question number 8, we will have to factorize the term first, and that is a denominator. We will first write the term which is in the denominator, that is x3 plus 1. We will first convert it in the form of sum of cubes, and we have already learned a formula, that is x plus 1 x square minus x plus 1. This would be because of so x3 plus 1 will become of the form. If you want to recall the formula, that was a3 plus b3 equals to a plus b, a square minus ab plus b square. So by using this formula right here in the very first step, we will first convert denominator as a multiple of two factors. One will be the linear one, that is x plus 1, and the other one is a quadratic x square minus x plus 1. So again, we have obtained one linear and the other one is quadratic. So once we will start the partial fraction, we will write it like a over linear, that is x plus 1, and bx plus c divided by quadratic x square minus x plus 1. The rest of the procedure would be as it is, that we will take the LCM first, because this is, you can also write it left hand side in the form of LCM, so that in the next step we can cancel out the denominator. For that purpose, we will apply the LCM like x plus 1 x square minus x plus 1. This is a usual LCM procedure which we have taken in all previous parts while making the partial fraction. So a times x square minus x plus 1 plus bx plus c into x plus 1. And the term on the left hand side would remain as it is. And then we will cancel out the denominator like all previous parts. This will be cancelled, and we will have the term left hand side will be x square plus 1, and on right hand side it will be a times x square minus x plus 1 and bx plus c into x plus 1. We can rename first equation now, and then same procedure for one linear equation. What we will do, we will put x plus 1 equals to 0, and from here we will be getting value of x equals to minus 1. So we will put in equation number 1, and once we will put value of x equals to minus 1, one of the factor on right hand side will become 0. So we have to carefully put the value of x, that is -1. So for b, it would remain as it is. For x, it will be -1, and finally -1 plus 1. So this factor will make entire part, second term, as 0, while we have to carefully see what is within the bracket. So 1 plus 1 plus 1, and on left hand side, this is 1 plus 1. So we can easily calculate the value of A, that is 3A equals to 2, and finally A will be easily obtained 2 by 3. Now, because we don't have any other linear part in it, so we will need to multiply the term on right hand side, and then we will compare the coefficients on both sides to make equations to find the value of B and C. So we will multiply it by A, or in other words, equation 1 will be expanded, right? So we are expanding equation 1. So on right hand side of equation number 1, we will multiply the term bx square plus bx plus cx plus c. And we will take up the common. First, we will take up x square common. So a plus b is there. Take out x common, that is minus a plus b plus c. And finally, we would have the term without x, that is a plus c. And this is x square plus 1. Now, we will comparing coefficients of x square, x, and constants on both sides, so that we can form the two new equations. A plus b is equals to coefficient of x square on left hand side is 1. So a plus b will be equals to 1. You can label it as equation number 2. Then comparing coefficient of x, because we don't have any part on left hand side which contain x. So this time value will be equated to 0. And finally, a plus c is a constant term on right hand side. A plus c is there, and left hand side constant term is 1. So we will equate it with this one to generate the fourth equation. Now, to find value of b, easiest one is this, that we substitute b1 minus a from second number equation. A is preely calculated 2 by 3. So by taking LCM, it will become 1 by 3. So the value of b will be derived as 1 by 3. Now, we need c only. So we can work out on equation number 4, which is much easier to calculate. C is equals to again 1 minus a. So a is equals to 2 by 3, and again we will be getting, after taking LCM, 3 minus 2 by 3, that is 1 by 3. So this is how we will obtain value of C as well. Now we have obtained value of ABC. So what we will do, that we will put these values in the original statement to finalize the answer. Now values of ABC will be substituted in this formation to complete the answer. That was the original statement. So A is just calculated as 2 by 3. So we will write 2 by 3 divided by x plus 1. For b, this is 1 by 3 times of x. And the c is just calculated 1 by 3. And the entire term was divided by x square minus x plus 1. So once again, we will have to convert this 3 in the denominator. It will become 2 over 3 times x plus 1. This is basically the simplification of fractions, nothing more than that. And for the second portion, we will take up 3 LCM in the numerator first, means it will become x plus 1. This is in the numerator, and the denominator is as it is, no change at all in the denominator. In the next step, we will shift 3 below, and the final answer will become 2 over 3 times x plus 1 divided by 3 times x square minus x plus 1. So this is the complete answer because we have converted the original statement in the form of the partial fraction. So on left hand side, you can simply write 1 time x square plus 1, x3 plus 1. So this is equivalent to this expression. It is a final answer. So only important point at the end is that once you will substitute the value of a, b, c, then you need to simplify, and the simplification will be done that you will have to apply or you have to take up LCM in the numerator, and then the denominator of or the LCM of that part will be shifted in the denominator of actual fraction. So this calculation must be done. This is required.